Totally yum.
So my ultimate Thai beef salad. This one comes straight from my mum's recipe book. This is a childhood favorite of mine. I can't wait to show you guys how to make it. So there are a couple of really key things that we need to get right to get this Thai beef salad like perfection. So first of all, we're going to start off with the marinade and the dressing. So I'm using some palm sugar here. Now this is a really firm palm sugar. It's generally the type of palm sugar that you get outside of Thailand, and it just requires a little bit of shaving. So shaving the palm sugar like this helps it to dissolve more easily in the marinade and the dressing. Okay, so I just want a little bit of that sugar for my marinade, and the rest I'm going to set aside for later for the dressing. Now I want some fish sauce as well. Now this marinade is where I go a little bit rogue from my family recipe. My mum would just straight out grill the steak. I like to add this little extra step. So I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper as well. I'm using ribeye steak, or also called Scotch fillet steak today, but you could use any kind of cut of steak that you prefer. Now the steak goes in there, and guys, this is an intense marinade. That fish sauce is strong and pungent, and I don't need that sugar to work its magic for very long, so this only needs a couple of minutes. So while that beef is marinating, I'll do my dressing. Now dressing is very simple. We take the palm sugar that we shaved off earlier. Now if palm sugar is not something you can find locally, you could use a light brown sugar, or even just some regular white sugar would be fine. Okay, and we want, again, some fish sauce and then some lime juice. And I'm just sort of squishing down on it a little just to release all those juices inside. Okay, so just mix that through and just squish the palm sugar with the back of your spoon just to help it keep dissolving as it sits here on the bench top as well. Now, time to get the steaks cooking. So I'm just heating up my pan, and I'll add a little bit of oil. And now time for that magic moment where meat meets pan. I love that sizzle. So I'm going to leave this first side on quite a high heat so we can get some really good color going. Okay, now that's looking really good, and see how just that little bit of sugar has really helped us get that beautiful caramelization on the outside of that steak. Now it's time for part two, which is where we try to cook the meat through evenly through the center. So I'm going to turn the heat down, and what I'm looking for is the kind of pressure you would feel when you push down on that part of your palm. And I'm just going to keep turning and flipping every so often until I can feel that meat. Now that's going to be a nice medium rare. So I'll take that off, and I want to let that rest for a good 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, we can get our salad ingredients ready. Okay, so first up we just want a small onion. So I'm going to cut that into thin wedges, and we want a tomato. So when I was little, my mum used to use cherry tomatoes as well, so you could totally use those. And some cucumber. Now I like to take the seeds out for this one because I find that the seeds tend to make the salad a little watery. So I like to chop my cucumber into irregular little pieces. And now for the herbs. So this is one of the things that I just love about Thai salads. The herbs are not some little garnish that goes on top. The herbs form part of the salad. They're like another vegetable. So don't be shy with the herbs. And I've got some coriander that I'm using, and I love to use the stems as well. So I'm chopping those up along with the leaves. And I want some spring onion as well. And now the major herb flavor for this salad is mint. So I'm going to pick off some nice leaves of those. And then some chilies. So I'm using this large red chili, which really has more of a capsicum flavor. And now our beef has had ample time to relax. And I want to slice this as fine, as thin as you can get it, because the lime juice and the dressing will continue cooking and soaking into the meat as well. Okay, so we just add our beef into the rest of our ingredients. Now just give that dressing one final stir. You can see that that palm sugar is dissolved nicely in there. And then start spooning that over. Now I like to go with about half of the dressing first and then just give this a bit of a mix and see where we're at. And now for the part where things get really pretty in that bowl. Okay, and now it's time to eat. Look at that, look at all those colors, that beautiful steak. And traditionally you would serve this with some rice on the side, but that's totally up to you guys. Crispy, steamed dumplings. Okay, they're always going to be amazing, but we're going to put them in a salad? That's right, my friends, we are making a Korean dumpling salad. Okay friends, so I always have a packet of frozen dumplings in my freezer, or if I'm going to be honest, like 10 packets, but whatever, the number doesn't matter. Always with the frozen dumplings. But what can I make instead of just dumplings? Well, you can make a salad, yes, believe it or not. I was actually reading a new cookbook of mine, which is this one from the lovely Hetty McKinnon, To Asia with Love. If you haven't had a look at this, please do. But on page 191, I was just flicking through and then there, bang, dumpling salad. I was like, this woman is a genius, my goodness. Hetty's version is a vegan, beautiful version. I'm gonna make a spicy Korean version today, so thank you for the inspiration, Hetty. Amazing. All right, so let's start off with our dressing first of all. So I love this, it almost like kimchi-ifies a little bit kind of the vegetables, so you get like this kind of quick pickle kind of thing happening. So start off with some gochujang. And you want some Korean red chili powder as well. I love this stuff, gochugaru, that's what you're looking for if you're ordering it online. It actually has a really fierce kind of I'm really hot color, but I don't find it too hot. It's actually got a really lovely flavor. Okay, to that I want to add some soy sauce, some vinegar, some sesame oil, just a little bit of sugar to kind of balance out all the heat and the tanginess and the saltiness. Just give that a mix. So now for our veggies, I have some lovely white cabbage that I'm going to start with. And I'm going to pimp that up with a little bit of red cabbage. I mean, you could just go the one color, but I do just like the, I don't know, the extra pop of color the red one gives. And some carrots, some cucumber. And look, do you know what's really great with this? I love doing this. Just buy like the coleslaw mix from your supermarket, and that way you don't have to slice anything. Perfect. And to that, I want to add some garlic as well. And now some sesame seeds. So these are all things that I would typically have in my fridge. So I love that this comes together, you know, really quickly and I don't have to think about it or shop in advance for it. So now I want to add in our dressing. So go in with like most of this dressing, and it might seem like a lot, but you know, I don't mind if it kind of, you know, has a little bit of dressing sitting at the bottom of the bowl. And then just save a little bit of that dressing for some drizzling on our dumplings at the end. Now, just mix all of that together. Oh, look at those colors, so fun. Now I like to leave that to sit while I cook my dumplings, because as I said, you kind of get a little bit of that kind of pickling, kimchi kind of effect if you just let it sit just for a few minutes. Now, so these are the frozen dumplings I've pulled out of my freezer this time around. They are prawn dumplings this time, but I've got everything in there, pork, vegetable, I mean, you name it, they're in my freezer. But these ones are a little gyoza shape. Very nice to pan fry, this gyoza shape, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to pan fry and steam them. Start off with a little bit of oil. Pop those dumplings in. And you just kind of want to hear that gentle sizzle. I don't want things to be happening too quickly here, because I need those dumplings to get a really crispy bottom and cook all the way through before we get like a burnt bottom. Now just leave these to crisp up for about 2 minutes and then we'll come back and take a look. Now this is the kind of situation that we're looking for. really lovely golden kind of color there. So we've got that crispiness on the bottom. Now what we need to do is cook the dumplings through, and I need some steam to do that. So I want to go in with some water. About halfway up the sides of the dumpling. The lid goes on. And just watch the heat there, maybe just turn it down a little bit and just let them steam through for about 5 minutes. While your dumplings are doing their thing, we can get our salad onto a little plate here. An extra little bit of lettuce or baby spinach or whatever greenery you've got rocking around in your crisper is great here too. And now we just wait for our dumplings. Oof, okay, look at that. Now our dumplings are just still sizzling away a little bit there, but almost all of that liquid is gone. Dumplings look beautifully cooked, and now we can get them out onto our salad bowl. Now, because I love things spicy, I'm gonna add a little bit more of that dressing over my dumplings. Just a little bit more greenery here, some spring onion. And there you go, guys. Dumplings, dumpling salad. I mean, how much more virtuous can you get? Not much more. I'm just so stoked that there's like dumpling salad. I just think that's the coolest thing. I mean, I think actually this Korean dish is a dumpling salad, so it's, you know, not a complete invention. I just, you know, how did I not know about it before? Anyway, let's go in and try this, shall we? So much babbling today. All right. I love that spicy sauce on there. It really does have that little bit of like a, yeah, that kind of kimchi effect. It's so cool. Just to be able to create a really simple meal, dumplings, vegetables I'd usually have in the fridge. Totally yum. That dressing is perfect. Okay, so we're making chicken salad, but not any old chicken salad. This one is fresh and crunchy and full of texture, and those crispy noodles. Yep, they really make all the difference. This is my Vietnamese style chicken salad. Let's start off with the salad dressing first of all. Really simple. I'm going to start off with some honey. So instead of using sugar for this one, I'm going with honey because, you know, sometimes I like to, I don't know, make it a little bit more virtuous. So honey, fish sauce, and some vinegar. Now just give that a mix. Such a simple dressing, and you get such a great like sweetness, tanginess, saltiness, so good. Okay, so let's make our little crispy noodle topping next, and this is one of my favorite ways to add some like crunch and texture into any kind of salad, and that is to use some wonton wrappers. So I've just got some, you know, store-bought wonton wrappers here, and then what you want to do is slice them into really thin little noodles. Now you just want to go through here and just kind of peel off those little tiny noodles. Don't be too fussy about it, doesn't matter if there's some sort of stuck together. So now that you've got your little pile of noodles here, you want to pop them into some hot oil. Now this is going to happen really quickly, so be prepared. Now just as soon as those little strands turn beautifully golden, I'm gonna just lift them straight out and onto some paper towel. And then just let them sit around. They'll kind of crisp up even more as they cool down, but you can kind of hear that sort of lovely crispiness. And we're gonna sort of break them up and sprinkle them over our salad at the end. Now the other little special ingredient I have for this recipe is the good old humble rotisserie chicken or barbecue chicken you can pick up from your supermarket. I love having this in my fridge because you can turn it into so many things, including this salad. So I've got some shredded up here. I'm just gonna add that into my bowl. And I want some cabbage here. Look, I'm using some Napa cabbage or wombat cabbage. You could use any white cabbage, green cabbage, red cabbage that you like. This is the thing with this salad. It's kind of like a, you know, go your own adventure. And then I've got some shredded carrot here as well, some red onion. And here's a little ingredient that will really make things kind of really, I don't know, extra special. And that is some roasted peanuts. I'm just gonna pound these in my mortar and pestle. Okay, so this is the kind of texture you want for your peanuts. Like, no, it doesn't have to be really fine. I kind of like it a little chunky. So they go in my bowl as well. And now for the herbs. So I'm gonna go with some spring onion for this one. And the thing that I always say with Asian salads, particularly with Thai or Vietnamese, is the herb isn't like a garnish. Like, it's actually like another ingredient or flavor in the salad. So you want a fair amount of herbs here. So I'm gonna slice some spring onion. And some mint. For me, mint is like one of those really key characteristics of a Vietnamese style salad, and I want lots of this beautiful fresh greenery. And now just for a little pop of color, not really for a lot of heat here, but I just want a nice bright red to kind of make everything a little bit more joyful. So just some chili, really mild. I'm just gonna slice those. They go in as well. And now I'm gonna pour in our dressing that we made earlier and give everything a really good mix. Already the smell, like those fresh herbs as they're kind of being mixed with that dressing and all the other ingredients, everything's smelling so good. All right, now, just at the end here before I'm serving, I'm gonna add in some crispy fried shallots. I like to do that right at the end because they kind of get a bit soggy if you put them in at the beginning. Now just give everything a really good mix. All right, now just get that onto a plate. And then let's get in here with our crispy noodles. I mean, these are so crispy. Listen to that sound. All right, and let's get them on the salad. I just like to break them up over the top. And there you go, guys, chicken salad, but like so much better than just chicken salad. Let's get in here and have a look. You know, I want a little bit of noodle, I want some chicken and some herbs. It smells so fresh and so delicious. You know what this is, guys? It's just like bang on with the flavor. You're getting, you know, the sweet, the tangy, and then you're getting all the different textures, crunchy, and then the peanuts, so it's a little peanutty. So, like, such an interesting, complex flavor from such very simple, humble ingredients. Love it. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, why not hit the like button? And even better, I would love so much if you would subscribe and even hit that little bell button so you get notified every time I release a new delicious video. Thanks, guys.